Today we are going to see the new topic from the infrared spectroscopy, and today's topic of discussion is the vibrations of the polyatomic molecules. So, as we know, the IR spectroscopy needs the pure vibrations, but for the polyatomic molecules we will get the vibrations as well as rotations. So, we will see the three kinds of motions or the modes of vibrations are there: symmetric stretching, bending vibrations, and asymmetric stretching vibrations. So, these three are the types of vibrations which are found in the polyatomic molecules. So, the vibrations in the polyatomic molecules, in which these 3 points are important. First is the number of fundamental vibrations and the symmetry of the molecules. So, the number of fundamental vibrations of the linear molecules and the non-linear molecules can be calculated by using different formulae. Then the second point which is important, it is a possibility of overtone and the combination bands. So, here in the IR spectroscopy we have seen mainly three kinds of the transitions possible from 0 to 1, 0 to 2 and 0 to 3, and other transitions of less intensity. So, mainly we can consider the V is equal to 0 to V is equal to 1 transition as a fundamental absorption. Then V is equal to 0 to V is equal to 2, it will be the first overtone. Then V is equal to 0 to V is equal to 2, that will be the second overtone. And the new point is the combination bands. So, third point is given here, the influence of rotation on the spectrum. So, as we have seen in the last lecture, when we are vibrating the molecule, it will undergo the rotation also, and in the vibrational energy levels, inside that there are the rotational energy levels present, and for the polyatomic molecules, the rotational transitions are possible. So, we have seen J prime and J double prime, and the transition occurs from ground state rotational energy level to the excited state rotational energy levels, that is J double prime to the J prime. So, here are the 3 points which are important for the study of vibrations in the polyatomic molecules: the number of fundamental vibrations and the symmetry of the molecules, the possibility of overtone and the combination bands, and the influence of rotation on the spectra. So, we will see in today's lecture first point, the number of fundamental vibrations and their symmetry. So, the fundamental vibrations can be calculated by using the formulae. For the non-linear molecules, the formula is used 3n minus 6. Here, capital N represents the total number of atoms present in the molecule. So, consider the water molecule. So, how many number of atoms are present? So, oxygen is 1 and there are 2 hydrogens. So, 2 plus 1, it is equal to 3. So, N is 3. So, just put N is equal to 3 in this equation and rewrite the equation to find the fundamental vibrations. So, fundamental vibrations is equal to 3 into 3 minus 6, that is 9 minus 6. So, we will get the number of fundamental vibrations for the non-linear molecule water, it is 3. So, by using the new formula, we can calculate the fundamental vibrations for the linear molecules now. So, here I have taken one example of a linear molecule. Here is a CO2 and we want polyatomic molecule, that is why I have not taken the diatomic molecule. CO2 is a polyatomic molecule because it contains more than 2 atoms. Okay. So, here CO2 contains 3 number of atoms, that is N is equal to 3. So just put that in this equation 3 and minus 5. So 3 into 3 minus 5, it will be 9 minus 5. So you will get the fundamental vibrations for the CO2 which is equal to 4. So by using these two equations, 3 and minus 6 for the non-linear molecules and 3 and minus 5 for the linear molecules, you can calculate the fundamental vibrations which are possible in any molecule. So here suppose consider we have three frequencies, nu1, nu2, nu3. So nu1 is a symmetric stretching frequency and it is a IR inactive mode. Then nu2 is a bending mode, it is IR active mode, and nu3 is a IR asymmetric stretching mode, it is IR active. So I have taken three conditions and these are applicable for the water molecule. Okay. So we will see how that three will be applied to the water molecule. So we will apply all these three: symmetric stretching, anti-symmetric stretching and the bending to the water molecule. So see, here is the diagram. So initially I have taken the normal molecule, here is water and the C2 axis is present. Okay. Then to this normal molecule I want to apply three kinds of the vibrations. First one is the symmetric stretching, next one is the symmetric bending, third one is the anti-symmetric stretching. So see, in this structure here two bonds are equal, the bond lengths of two OH bonds is equal, but now we want to apply symmetric stretch. So just pull this side and this side equally with equal force. So the center of gravity will be fixed, just we have to pull these two bonds with equal force, that is a symmetric stretching. So the structure of the water molecule will be like this. Okay, and the symmetric stretching frequency is given here 3651.7 per centimeter, and this frequency is nu1, and here the parallel mode of vibration is there. Okay, then we will see the bending to that structure. So initially obviously our water molecule is V-shaped and it's like a bend. So we have to apply the bend in the upward direction. Okay, when you have a CO2 molecule, this is linear, then you can symmetrically bend this molecule to the upper side or the downward side. But here is a water molecule, it is obviously it is a bend shape or the V shape. So we want to bend this. So we can't bend this molecule inside. So we have to bend this molecule in the upper direction. So just bend this two hydrogen atoms in the upper direction and then oxygen will come at the downward direction. So for the symmetric bending, frequency observed is 1595 per centimeter. Again here is a parallel kind of vibration. Then see the last structure or the structure C. This is our normal structure and we have to apply the anti-symmetric stretch to this structure. So we have to expand one bond and we have to compress another bond. Okay, so see in this structure number C, the one hydrogen bond is stretched and another hydrogen bond is compressed. So simply here one bond is elongated and another bond will be compressed. So bond length of two bonds is unequal. There is no symmetric structure. So the structure is called as a anti-symmetric structure, and the stretching which we have applied, that will be anti-symmetric stretch, and its frequency is 3755.8 per centimeter, and the frequency is given by nu3. And here the perpendicular kind of the vibrations. So see, here is a hydrogen. Okay, so as we are compressing, the bond is like this, and this hydrogen is perpendicular to this one. So here is a perpendicular kind of vibration. So see what happens in all these three structures. So in the first structure, bond length will be increased, but the molecule is V-shaped. Its shape does not change. Its symmetry is same. So this structure A is inactive to the IR mode. So see what we have seen here. Nu1 is a symmetric stretching and this is IR inactive mode, because only bond length is changed but the symmetry is constant. Then we have applied the second kind of the vibration to the molecule, that is a symmetric bending. So initially molecule is bent, it is V-shaped, and we are applying the force to bend that molecule at the upward direction. So its structure will get changed. So that's why there is a change. When structure will be changed, the molecule becomes IR active. So bending mode of vibration is IR active, or the frequency nu2 containing bending mode, it is IR active for the water molecule. Then see the antisymmetric stage. So for the antisymmetric stage, obviously symmetry is broken. Here one bond is elongated, another bond is shortened, or its length will be decreased. So the antisymmetric stage, which contains the maximum frequency 3755.8 per centimeter, and here the vibrations are perpendicular type. So you can keep in mind the symmetric stretching mode of vibration is inactive to the IR spectroscopy, and the remaining two modes of vibrations, that are bending and antisymmetric stretching, both are active to the IR spectroscopy. So see the frequency is like this. Nu3 is greater than Nu2, it is greater than Nu1. Is it correct? So see here, Nu3 is 3755.8, then second is 3651.7, and the B is 1595.0. So this values are not Nu3, Nu2 and Nu1. That values are Nu3 is greater than Nu1, it is greater than Nu2, because the bending mode of vibration is active to the IR, but its frequency is less, it is 1595.0. So just correct here, you can, Nu3 is greater than Nu1 and it is greater than Nu2, and these values are correct. 3755.8, it is greater than 3651.7, it is greater than 1595.0 per centimeters, and these are the values of increasing frequency of the water molecule when we have applied the three kinds of fundamental vibrations through the water molecule. Then we will see the another diagram which shows the change in the electric dipole moment produced by each vibration of the water molecule, and this is seen to occur either along a parallel or across a perpendicular the symmetry axis. Okay, so you can observe here, initially suppose we have the water molecule, okay, and we have the water molecule, and this is a normal water molecule, and here oxygen is a negative atom and hydrogen is a positive atom, and always the direction of the electricity or direction of the dipole is from the positive end to the negative end. So here in the upper direction, here the negative charge and here is a positive charge. That's why when normal water molecule is taken, so its dipole moment is in the upward direction. Then when we applying the symmetric stretch to the molecule, here the molecule is stretched and here the molecule is compressed. But when we are pulling these two hydrogens in the downward direction with the equal force, though the dipole direction is same, okay, for the symmetric stretching. Here we have compressed the two bonds OH and OH. Though the oxygen is a negative atom, hydrogen is a positive atom, and the dipole direction does not change. So, see in this all three structures, equal direction is of a dipole. So, there is a no change in the dipole. That's why the molecule is inactive to the IR spectroscopy. Then see and obviously here structure is same, its V shape is changed, there is no any kind of change, only bond lengths will be either increased or decreased in case of the symmetric stretching. So it will be nu 1 frequency. Then we can consider the second kind of the vibration, that is a bending mode of vibration for the water molecule. Then consider a water molecule when the dipole of the water molecule is at the upward direction, because oxygen is a negative atom and two hydrogens are the positive atoms. Then we have to bend these two hydrogen atoms inside. Obviously the dipole direction is in the upward direction. Then we have to observe this kind of the structure when we bend this inside. Okay. So after bending this inside, the structure will be like this. Again the dipole direction is at the upward direction. But the initial structure of the water molecule can be changed. That's why the bending mode of vibration is active to the IR spectroscopy. Then we will see the third kind of the vibration mode can be applied to the water molecule. So again see here. Here is a water molecule, okay. Obviously all three structures are of the water molecules and we have to apply the symmetric stretching. Asymmetric stretching. So here is a oxygen and here two hydrogen atoms are there. So obviously the dipole direction is toward the negative atom. So it is at upside. Now we have to compress one bond and expand another bond, okay. So when we expand one bond and we compress the another bond, we will get such kind of the structure. So structure will be slightly tilted, okay. So electron density is higher at this part. So our dipole direction will be slightly tilted. Same way here we are going to expand one bond and we are going to compress this bond. So structure will be reverse of it. So structure is like this. Here is a hydrogen, it is electropositive atom, and here is oxygen. And the electron density at this part is much more higher. That's why the dipole direction is slightly changed. So such a kind of the change in the electric dipole moment can be observed for the each kind of the vibration. Either stretching vibration, asymmetric stretching, and the bending for water molecule can be observed. Then we will see the another example, that is a CO2. So CO2, it is a carbon dioxide molecule. Here we have the C infinity axis, okay, and we have one C2 axis. So for this molecule there are two different sets of symmetry axes. There is an infinite number of two-fold axes C2 passing through the carbon atom at right angles to the bond direction, and there is an infinity fold axis, that is a C infinity. So we have two axes, C2 axis and C infinity axis. So this is our structure. C2 axis makes the 90-degree angle or at right angle, and the C infinity passes through the O, C and O, that is a CO2, and it is a C infinity axis, or you can say that it is a infinity fold axis which passing through the bond axis itself. The name symmetric stretch and the antisymmetric stretch are self-evident, but it should be noted that the symmetric stretch produces no change in the dipole moment, which remains 0. So consider the first structure for the symmetric stretching of the CO2. So carbon is a electropositive atom and the oxygen is a electronegative atom. So it contains minus delta, and carbon contains plus 2 delta. So its dipole moment is 0. And so that this vibration is not infrared active. So for the symmetric stretching, there is no change in the dipole moment, that the dipole moment is 0. That's why the symmetric stretching vibration is non-infrared active, or you can say that it is IR, inactive mode of vibration. So we will apply the another kind of the stretch, that is the antisymmetric stretch to the CO2. So we have to expand one bond and we have to compress another bond. So obviously what happens, the bond length of the one CO is shorter and another CO will be elongated. And the antisymmetric stretch frequency for the carbon dioxide molecule is given 2349.3 per centimeter. And here the parallel kind of vibrations can be applied. Then there is a last structure, that is a structure number C. Here we have to bend this linear molecule CO2. So carbon will come at the downside and oxygen will move at the upper side. So the dipole direction will be at the upper direction, because the carbon will come at the downside, and the vibrations are the perpendicular kind of the vibrations. So these three are the types of vibrations which we have applied for the CO2 molecule, and here the symmetric stretch is inactive to the IR, then the antisymmetric stretch and the bending mode of vibration, these are active to the IR spectroscopy. So here again the frequencies are given. The antisymmetric stretching frequency is greater, then the symmetric stretching frequency, then the bending. So 2349.3 per centimeter, that is mu3 is greater than mu1 1330 per centimeter, and it is greater than mu2 667.3 per centimeter. So such a kind of the vibrations can be possible in the polyatomic molecules.